Busboy here. Welcome. All right, so let's start that over, guys. Welcome to episode 5 of Three Men in a Podcast. It's a little bit of a weird thing. The internet connections are a bit weird, where we discuss men's lifestyle and all things men's lifestyle. Tonight, we've got a treat for you guys. We have Steve Siozios, the owner of Cigars, Stogies Cigar Lounge, and London Pub. I messed up the last name again, eh, Steve?
It's all right. You're not the first.
Didn't I?
I'm so embarrassed.
Siozios. Come on, it's so easy.
What's going on, Claudio? What's wrong? How's everyone feeling this evening?
Good. Were you gonna keep doing the intros as usual, or?
Well, we don't have to. But no, real quick. First of all, let's talk about, first of all, as every week, guys, Claudio from the Dirty Four, Ange from the Ange TV Show, Luigi C from the Agree to Disagree Show, and tonight, Mr. Steve, a good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. I am an avid cigar smoker, as some of you may or may not know, but more importantly, we wanted to discuss the effects of this pandemic and what it's having on Montreal businesses, in particular bar owners and cafe owners and restaurant owners and reception halls. Steve, thanks so much for being on tonight. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure, guys. I just wanted to say I saw the picture you guys posted of me to advertise the show, and a lot of your viewers, listeners might question what's going on. So I just want to tell you, it's a shampoo called Control GX. So the white beard, basically, you wash out the white. It's a beard wash. Because now you outed me, because, like everybody's going, this beard was white. So this is the product, and it's a shampoo. I don't,
Okay.
Just want to be clear.
Okay,
it works wonders.
It works wonders because for me, like I don't have to have the problem because I shave once a week. So I'm like, okay, now
once a week.
When I want to grow the beard, I know what to get now. It'll be nice.
Yeah,
and
well, I started growing it. What time is it? About 5 a.m, and this is what I got now.
Jesus Christ. That's epic.
My 5 o'clock shadow.
So Steve, Captain Yolo is saying your beard is epic. We have a few fans of your beard here. Raul is also saying you look epic, Steve. Look at that. Even the side view. Amazing. Amazing.
Very Spartan
Amazing.
of me, right?
Yeah.
Get the Greek on. You got to get the Spartan look.
The Greek,
oh God!
The Greek is coming out. The Greek is coming out.
We gotta laugh,
Steve,
guys. We gotta laugh.
Look, Ange has a little
we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh.
There you
go. Me too. I have a little bit of my scruff going on tonight, but let's get right into it, guys. I know. Let's get right into it, guys. The purpose Ange and Claudio had asked me to ask you to be on the show is to discuss what's currently going on. First off, the first question, I know it's a very open question, but how are you doing? Mm-hmm. What's going on? How are you doing?
Well, be honest with you, I got up and down days. They usually go within, like, I got up in 2 days up, 2 days down, 2 days in the middle. It's overwhelming. It's tiresome. Like today is a celebration of 6 months closed. I don't know if you want to call it a celebration, but this was the eve of our closing 6 months ago.
Okay.
And it's hard. It's 6 months, and ZZ Top, my favorite band. But like I said, sometimes I get 2 days good. Sometimes I get 2 days very bad. I could tell you it relates a lot to social media. Luigi will tell you that if you get on a little too much, it brings you down.
It really does.
Frustrates you. It's also because we don't have much of a voice. No, very few outlets until it's time for them to benefit from it. They don't worry or think about the plight of the small business owner in the bar and restaurant business. So right now, nobody's interviewing me, unless it's one of my titles is Crescent, unless it has to do with certain things about municipal politics or whatever, they don't. But once there's a sense that, oh, maybe restaurants will open, then they care.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Nobody's asking the questions. Nobody's going out. Media has been, the news has been, concentrated into a few places in Montreal, and they have they need their good feel stories, and then they need their, they have a certain type of way of doing media, and we've literally been forgotten.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about it, but very few people are thinking of all these 12,000 bar restaurant owners and 250,000 employees that have been forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's actually kind of, because it's a good point that you brought up, the media, right? And what I can't stand about these journalists as well is, especially when Louis' best friend, Legault, is being interviewed, especially when he has these useless 5 o'clock things. I don't know what it is with the journalists, but they ask the same questions, but they ask questions that no one cares about. Like, for me, if I was there, I'm like, okay, so it's been like almost a year, more than a year, that restaurants and businesses, bars have been closed. What are you planning to do? I don't know about you, but if I was a journalist, I'd keep asking over and over again. But the worst, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because, hey, you know what? Steve obviously runs bars. I do stand-up comedy, and then we all like to go entertaining. But my main,
you guys have been affected a lot.
Yeah. The main question, and I cannot stand CBC, is the question. They go, well, what are the priorities? Now I understand. And again, a broken clock is fixed somewhat a day. Now I understand why Legault gets pissed, because these are dumb questions. Then you have TVA and Journal de Montréal, which I don't want to get into, but all these journalists, I'm like, what the fuck are you asking? Like, no. And then, but I don't know, like, Steve, like I know you're the owner.
My favorite with journalists is this.
Yeah.
And I got caught last time. I'm not going to get caught this time, but I got caught last time where there was this, okay, when are you going to open bars? So when the journalists get this, I don't know, feeling that this is going to be a question that people care about, they're on me like flies on shit. They're just like, oh, we want an interview. What do you think? When are you going to open? Are you going to open against the law? Are you going to? And they try to clip you to say certain things, and they put it together, and you're like,
exactly,
that's not what I said, but okay. And then once you open, literally, it's like an Italian election. 24 hours later, we want them closed. Like Italians, we want him as president. He's president.
Yeah.
We want him out.
No, it's disgusting.
We want bars are going to open. Then as soon as they open, do you think it was too early? Don't you think this is going to be a disaster? And they're like, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, we should close the bars. Why'd they open the bars? And the media is feeding it in. It's like, hey, I thought you guys were our friends. I thought you guys were supporting us. They're not.
No.
They played that game, and it's like, haha. And you're like, I got caught the first time. I'm not going to get caught the second time. We were a lot of people in our business, and you know what? Long term, we advertise a lot on these radio stations.
Yeah,
I've pulled all my ads. I used to own show. I mean, my ad used to run all the time. Now, when I come back, I'm going to think twice about how they treated us. And then you don't need them anymore. You have so many other outlets to advertise.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? And you know what, Steve? You brought up a very important point. The part where you said you don't need them anymore. Look, podcasting, like what we do, is the new thing now, right? So I'm just, it's advertising for you to make us look good as well. Like, we're the ones that are not like these people who go like, oh, so when are you going to open? When are you going to close? It's honestly, it's this type of media that make us sick to our stomach, And
this media has to watch out, because your media like this is a lot more targeted for us. It's a lot more interesting for us. Yeah. They have the numbers. 100,000 people are watching us. Yeah, but how many of those are really my customers? Can I pick and choose? No, you can't. Well, now we have choices, and we see demographics. I only have 1,000 people listening to me, but 900 will come to my bar. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's different. Instead of putting it out there, and it costs me 1/10 the price.
Yeah. And I was just going to mention this.
Don't forget that it's. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. Actually, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. So there's actually a comedian here.
What I was going to say.
Produces.
You guys need the better internet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, guys. We're on a delay.
Okay, so
we're on a delay. I apologize. Go ahead, Claudio.
It's okay. So there was this guy produces comedy shows, right? And him, the same thing like you, Steve. It's like, oh wait, restaurants and bars are going to be open up, venues. So comedy shows, when are they going to come back? He set a date, and then like a day later, it's like, oh no, close it. But then he's like, yeah, but what answer are you going to give if the premiere says, oh, we're going to be opening up in a week, then the show's going to be obviously be put up in a week. But then it's like it's the exact same thing as you're saying, Steve. It's sad. But at the same time, I mean, like, what's worse than sad, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed, like today, they were talking about they're going to turn all the orange zones back into the red zones. It's
and then knock them down even further.
Wait, hold on, because I was at work when this happened. So if you could, because I'm not listening to him. I can't listen to Logo anymore. I can't look at him.
Okay, so 3 cities are turning back to red.
Okay.
Quebec City, Lévis, and Gatineau.
Okay.
But on top of that, they are going into a Christmas. Remember the Christmas lockdown where everything is closed?
Yeah.
Except that they're doing that for 10 days. 10 days. That
10
means
days.
30.
Yeah, exactly.
They told us 30 days. Now we're 6 months. So whatever. They're doing a full lockdown, meaning no church, no cinemas, no gyms, no restaurants, nothing. Complete closed. Not Best Buy, nothing. Everything's closed for 10 days.
Now it's le variant. See?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, soon it's going to be the hybrid variant and the mutant variant.
Yeah.
Joke.
And the Star Trek variant and the
But it's not a joke.
No.
Like it's and people will say, "Oh, you don't believe in it." It's not that, guys.
It's the way they sell it.
It's the way they sell it, guys. The media has people watching more TV now than ever before.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money now.
you know, like it's like me, like me lying, saying, "Oh, I hate being the only one you can, one of the few places you could smoke indoors. I hate it because you're forced to come to my bar." No, I don't. You know, it's an advantage for me. And yeah, the media is not saying, "Oh, we hate this pandemic." No, you don't. People are watching you more than ever before, and the people that never watched you before. So come on, don't be disingenuous and say, "Oh no, we're just reporting the news." Yeah, right.
It's all scripted, you know. Like the thing is, we see us right now. We could say whatever we want. There's nobody in the back saying, "Don't put your hand like that. Don't say this. Don't do that." Right? Them, they have a manager. If they can get clapped.
And you're not going to cut my words apart to make a completely different sentence either. So if anybody wants to see what I said, they're going to rewind and say, "Okay, that's what he said."
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, so my mental state, like I said, goes day by day, goes by how much social media I take in. You know, the more I forget about things, the better. But you can't completely forget about things. You know, you can't just disappear. You know, if I was deciding to close Stogies, and you know, it crossed my mind and saying, you know, just call it a day and that's it. Let's go. It's just that the reason I don't do that is because I have an affinity for that bar. Yeah. Affinity. It's my bar, obviously, but this is the place that 25 years ago, and we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. You know, I worked so hard for this place. To see it die like that, I can't do it. You know, even though it's tempting, I can't let the legacy of Stogies, which has become near and dear to a lot of people, believe it or not, it's like Cheers. To a lot of people, this place is very dear to them. To let it die like that because of this, I just can't do it. So no, we will open. Okay. We will open, and how much longer, I don't know, because you know, you get used to being home all the time. But I'm sure my juices will start flowing.
Yeah, for sure. Once you get back into it. Now, Steve,
once Luigi comes in and starts watching Boston Bruins, going, "Look at our Rats! You're winning. The Rats are great.
Yes. Fuck, I can't wait." But
did you see the refs? They caught them being full of shit.
Yeah, I saw that. How long I've been bitching about that? But something that came that you said off air that really touched us and affected me is that you know, we all know that you are president of the Crescent Merchants Association. Yes. Is that what it's called?
The Crescent Street Merchants Association.
Yeah. And that you said that, you know, I'm fine, Luigi. guys. I've been in business for 25 years. I'm scared for those young bars, those young owners, young entrepreneurs that are putting their lives on the line and having to deal with, especially there's already so many trials and tribulations and things to work out when you're opening up your business. And I found that was so caring on your part. And
anybody who knows me knows I have a special place for entrepreneurs. Comedians, when they go into a room full of people and they see another comedian, you see them like two flies, right?
Yeah.
Comedians love other comedians. Real estate agents love other real estate agents. I love entrepreneurs. We're a special breed, like comedians, right? We understand each other in a certain way. We understand, and we just look at each other and go, you know.
Yeah.
So I am truly a passionate entrepreneur, and I will fully respect anybody who's tried it. Anybody who's put everything on the line for their dream, for that to have that entrepreneurial spirit, which is insane. It's like if you break down how much money they make an hour, you're like, dude, you can work at Tim Hortons and make more money. You know, but it doesn't matter. This is my dream. One day, my dream, I'll be the McDonald's or I'll be whatever. You know, like one day, when I opened, I said, I might run Crescent Street, and I ended up running Crescent Street. I might have one of the most popular bars in the city. I'm one of the most popular bars in the city. It's like, wow, I did it, because that's what you strive for. So I look back when I was celebrating my 2nd year anniversary, 3rd year anniversary, and it was tough, and not COVID tough, not pandemic closed down for 6 months tough. So these guys need a voice, and if guys like me who are okay, meaning we're gonna reopen, guys like me who have been in the business for 25 years, and I'm a granddad of the business, don't speak out for them, don't help them. So I kept. So on the Crescent Merchants Association, we have a girl that we hire that usually because we run the Grand Prix, the festival, like the famous Crescent Street Festival, which was 80% of our work. Her work, my director of operations, her work now is to help merchants find money, get patios up and running, and get the permits, and that's what I've committed the money that we said for other things to pay her to literally, and I opened it up to merchants from other streets too. You don't have to be on Crescent. If you're having problems on Saint Laurent, or they have their own place, but like a street that is not represented, call us. Call us. We're not gonna say, oh, Crescent, you're on Bishop, doesn't matter. Just call us and we'll help you. And we need to do that. We need to do that because you see the anguish in their eyes. You see I wasn't expecting this. This is not fair, and it isn't fair.
And that's what I wanted to ask. How are they reacting to this? Like, what's the consensus?
The consensus is this can't be happening, and two, it's like, in the beginning, we want every bar owner wants to do the responsible thing and help in the cause, right? So. Okay, we're closed down because that's what we got to do. But bitterness has set in. A lot of bitterness and a lot of us against them.
Mistrust.
Nobody cares about us. And that's the saddest part. You see some bitterness and you see distrust, a lot of distrust in officials. No one believes anything. Oh, we might open. Yeah, no. Until it happens, nobody believes anything anymore. It's just we've been burned too many times, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing, Not to rebound the city, And I'll tell you this: one thing I do notice now, before the pandemic, city officials, they neglected us downtown. They shit on us. They didn't care about us. You people make so much money in sitting there and go live in your houses in Laval and the South Shore. We hate you. Now it's like, oh, please don't go away, because if we're on watch while downtown gets completely obliterated, we're going to get it. We're going to be paying the price for this because now they're like, they changed their tunes about how they treat us.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what? Speaking about downtown, it's a ghost town, man. Like
Extra hard. Yeah.
Every second building is like a ghost town, man. Because I've been working downtown for it's been like 6 years now, and obviously before the pandemic, like it's been booming, you know. And now it's just like I'm like, yo, man, like how John Wick said, like what the hell's going on, you know?
It's only normal. You're gonna because like Crescent Street set up to do one thing. Mm-hmm. It's a party street. I mean, we actually paid a big study. What should we concentrate on, you know? And they're like, getting people drunk and getting laid. Oh, okay. We've been doing that for a long time. We could do that. So we're a party street, right? Like, meaning we said, should we rebrand ourselves? And they're like, no, go double down on your branding. Be the party street. So we're the party street, right? We're trying to be the party street. So when the party is over, you know, you don't have street downtown will have certain things, you know, like it's not like Laval where, okay, we're going to have a strip mall. So we're going to have one dry cleaner, one pharmacy, one bar, one restaurant. So we're going to create this ecosystem for everybody. No, downtown is like, okay, Crescent is for party. We're going to go eat the old port and look at some old buildings. We're going to party at these 2-3 streets and then the side streets for the strip clubs. And, you know, we're going to set it up that way. But when the party's over, guess what? It looks pretty bad. You know, have you ever been in a nightclub after it's closed? You know,
it's
looks like a mess, right?
Yeah, it does.
Steve, I don't want
Crescent Street looks bad when it's closed.
Steve, I always wanted to ask you, and you know, I'm not one of those. This honestly, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but really, this whole thing.
These days, you kind of wonder, hey, like you're like.
And I kind of wonder, and I've heard this idea floating around, and I want your take on this, and I don't see why, but someone said to me that the government doesn't like
this question.
Yeah, well, exactly. You'll know what's coming. Doesn't
I think so?
Is not fond of bars, cafes, clubs, and even restaurants, saying that. Already, I mean, as we know, the government fucks you guys as it is, and you know, let's face it. Whenever you could save $1, you could save $1. And I'm gonna.
But they use that to fuck us double hard. It's like,
of course,
it's like that. You know, oh, we think they're stealing, so we'll take everything.
Yeah, but there you go. So my question is, how much of this could actually subconsciously being, you know what? Here you go, you fuckers. Here you go.
Okay, no, I don't think it's that. But I was worried you're gonna say something, and let me break some breaking news, something that's not talked about. Okay.
Okay.
The government has chosen which bars are gonna stay open.
Wow.
Okay. And how did they do that?
Interesting.
With the aid they gave. So they were helping. They said we're going to help bars. We're going to pay all their expenses, right?
Yeah.
You know, say, well, that's pretty decent of them. And if you notice, only I think it's under 20% of the bars got help. Bars and restaurants. Sorry, bars and restaurants. Only under 20%.
Okay.
But they're getting good help, and I'm one of those bars.
Oh.
We're getting help from the government.
Okay.
Now you're saying, okay, well, that's pretty good. But I saw the process they went through, and they pretty much picked the bars that weren't screwing them the most before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So basically, they're looking at the bars and saying, who is paying their taxes? Stogies, you were paying your taxes. Good boys. You get help. You, we think you were doing a little dipping. You close. You, we're not sure. You close. You're a good corporate citizen. We help you. Now, a lot of people, and to their right, will say, well, it's only fair. If you, Steve, were following the rules and paying your taxes, good on you to get help. But it's not as simple as that. We, you know, and without saying the obvious,
sure,
bars have a hard time when they open up and might cut corners, and maybe the paperwork's not up to date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We all eventually get to the point where we become very good corporate citizens and pay too much taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But on the way there, we still have to pay rent. And let me tell you, sometimes the government doesn't give you enough money to pay rent. You know? And So they finally found a way to punish those that didn't follow their, Crystal Palace rules on, paying and filling out paperwork. So basically, they set up this system where they say, we're going to audit you.
Yeah,
we're going to audit you. You pass the audit, you get a golden ring. You don't pass the audit. And now you're looking at it going, do I really want to go through an audit? So I won't even apply.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the government's like, oh yeah. And the other shoe that I'm worried that is going to drop is the government's going to say, who didn't apply and why? After this pandemic, I think we're going to have a nice little list of people who didn't apply. Steve had no problem. Give us this info, and 3 seconds later, where's my money? Because here's the info that you wanted. I'm on FaceTime going, what info do you want, you assholes? Here it is. So they're like saying, okay, Steve has nothing to hide. Screw him. He's off the list.
Yeah, just get him off the list.
Somebody's going, well, no, I don't want the money. Really? Let me write that down. Okay, we'll remember you after. So that's the worry. I don't want to defend bad behavior, but I understand it. It is tough. I mean, people don't get it. They go, oh, well, they steal. Well, it's why? They don't steal. It's because they just want to survive sometimes. It's literally survival. Yeah. It's literally survival. I'm telling you, you some of these bar and restaurant owners, if you look at the hours they do and how much they actually take home, you're like, buddy, go work at Tim Hortons, you'll make more money, but that's not the point. You got to get over that hump, that 3-4 year hump, and sometimes, and they want to just stick it to these people with their little program they had for help. So that's the secret. That's the behind the scenes secret of how they're screwing the business.
So I wasn't far off from
you weren't far off.
Not far off of the truth.
Correct.
Guys, did you have any questions? I wanted to ask Steve another question. Because thank you, senior correspondent.
I think Luigi wanted to be a bar restaurant owner in another life.
Exactly. That's where I was.
I'm so excited. Oh my God.
Well, actually, I have a question, Steve. I'm just curious.
Go ahead.
At the beginning,
how much money I would have if everybody that told me, oh, I'd love to be a bar owner, how much money I'd have?
Really? Okay, at the beginning when you were starting off, what type of in the 90s, I guess, right? You're saying 25 years
90s,
ago?
yes, mid-90s.
What were the problems at that time starting off owning a bar?
Well, it was right after the referendum, and that was a good and bad thing in the sense that we got the location we got because everybody was trying to take off
to Toronto,
right? So the only reason they gave 3 numbskulls that location was, well, no one's gonna rent it. These idiots want to open a bar. Go ahead, try, because everybody's fleeing like the sink. Yeah. So we opened a year before. A year before the referendum, right? So we bought in when everybody's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So everybody was like, we're not renting nothing. Yeah. So, so that was what happened then. The idiot Steve actually, and what were the problems then? Definitely not the taxes. We thought the taxes were bad. We learned that they could get a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Give an example. City taxes when I opened in 1996 were $6,000. Okay. And a beer was $4,000. Today's taxes are $60,000 and a beer is $7,000. And I'm like doing the math going, beer is up 90%, taxes are up 900%. Who's making money from this, So, but back then the problems, it was good times in the mid-90s. Now that you look at your problems today and you go back then and you go, it was nice.
It was amazing.
What the problems were, I mean, pretty much had pill for every VD, so that was a party there. What was the problem then? I mean,
did you have any competition?
Oh, you mean as a cigar bar?
Yeah, the cigar bar.
As a cigar bar, the problem was that you could smoke everywhere. Everybody was a cigar bar. Once it became, so we were a cigar bar, meaning wall to wall to wall. We weren't doing anything else. We decided to be a cigar lounge. But that decision also, when the law changed, said, okay, who is a real cigar bar? Mm-hmm. You could stay open. You understand? So, so everybody, a nightclub said, oh, cigars are in. Okay, let's take that corner and call it a cigar lounge. So every bar had a cigar lounge. It was a corner, 2 tables that they designated as you could smoke there, and then we put a little humidor on the side, charged $200 for a cigar. Cigar lounge, cool, we're in. I decided to open a whole bar with 400 seats, cigar lounge. But when the law came around and said, okay, you're not a real cigar lounge. We want the real cigar lounges. We're only going to let real cigar lounges stay open in terms of smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually the prototype. The doctor, who was the premier of Quebec? He, the liberal. He was the health minister in the late 90s, but he was health minister left Couillard.
Yeah.
So Couillard, what a scumbag. By the way, can we say that now? Is he gone from politics? Am I going to get bitten in the ass?
No. Go ahead.
This guy was a scumbag. First of all, you remember the guy from Arthur Porter from the guy who sold all the money?
Yes.
He was a very good customer of mine.
Yeah, right.
And I'll say that Stogies might have had some money taken, like some of the spending from that money he stole was done at Stogies. This guy with his little bow tie used to show up with leather pants at my place.
Leather pants.
One day, when the rumor was going around that smoking was going to be banned, Arthur Porter shows up with his friend, the health minister, Couillard. Remember, he said, "Oh, we're not friends." Really? Because you're at my bar smoking and drinking. Yeah. And basically, Arthur Porter told him we can't close Stogies down. And the Minister of Health goes, "No, you're right. We have to do something." And he, because of that visit, put in place an exemption for cigar bars based on Stogies.
Unbelievable.
You know, the criteria why you would stay open as a cigar bar. So they made it very, very tight because they don't want everybody to say, "Well, I used to sell 3 cigars I can smoke." No, they said, listen, you have Stogie Cigar Lounge. The guy has a walk-in humidor. This is the cigar lounge we want. And if you follow kind of this pattern, you can also have one too. So yeah, that was the story. And this guy turns around to me. This guy became premier of Quebec. So not only is he hanging out with Arthur Porter, the guy he didn't know, but he's smoking cigars and drinking with this guy on the patio. He turns around and he starts talking dirty about my waitresses. Now, usually that gets you kicked out. Usually that gets a very negative reaction by me because I'm one of those, look, I have daughters, don't treat my waitresses like that. These are my girls, I treat them like my daughters. But here I am instead going, he's the Minister of Health and my future is in his hands. And he's like, I'd like to fuck her in the ass. I go, you're the health minister. Yeah. And I have to keep it all in me because I go, this guy can screw the shit out of me. That's why now I'm saying, okay, he's gone, right? Like, I don't have to worry about this guy coming back as premier and going, "Steve, remember what you said?" Yeah, this guy was a pure pig. This guy became premier of Quebec. He was a pure pig.
There's a lot of this coming out now, like with Cuomo and shit like that. Like,
Oh, man, I could tell you stories about these politicians. It's ridiculous. Granting bribes. I never had a politician take my hand like this. It was always like this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
everybody's like, "Oh, the mafia." No, you mean politicians? It's another word, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, hi, nice to meet you. How much are you giving me? It's like, wow, dude, your hand is out like this. Does it move like this? Because it's always like this. It's crazy.
And then their butt cheeks are all like this, and then the end are gonna be like this, right? Oh man,
Steve.
So we didn't have a lot of. Look, the normal problems, right? So you got 3 guys that never ran a business, not in that scale, making a lot of mistakes, and that's and the price we paid was the tuition. We call it the small entrepreneurial bar owning tuition, which is the stupid shit you do, like fancy signs that you're gonna need a sign like this, 3D. It's like, what a waste of money. Like the knowledge I have today. Oh, we're gonna make a menu. We're gonna have 300 items in it. No, that's a pretty stupid move. Like there were all these things that we made mistakes that we bit our teeth and we went through it for 2 years of entrepreneurial university, and we come out the other side. If you survive, well, 25 years later, you're sitting on a show with 3 guys.
Oh my God,
Steve, it's funny you mentioned You mentioned staff and
Yes.
Mr. Couillard. Last time you were on my show when I had you and Angelo from Embassy Plaza and from Salumi Vino restaurant, Mario from Salumi. This was a while ago. This was almost at the beginning.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
It was the first month that it closed down. You remember? It was the first month.
And so
I'm worried about this question. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah,
no. It's not going to be a bad one. It's just, the goal, like I said at the beginning of this, was to bring awareness to, how you guys are doing. And how's your staff doing? What are they doing financially? I mean, have you spoken to them? Like what?
Yeah, this is we're getting to the territory where I dreaded the most. And this is the hardest thing that is going through. We're gonna get through it, but what's happening now is what I really, really dreaded. This is the worst thing that can happen to my business, which is my lovely, beautiful, fantastic. I wouldn't trade them for the world staff. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
And that's selfish. That sounded selfish. But what I'm trying to say is that I do keep in touch with them. Some are just waiting it out. The ones that want to make this lifestyle, like maybe open a bar themselves, they're waiting it out because they want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
You had some guys that had a tough time, and we helped them out financially because we didn't want to see. The first thing I told my staff was this: no one that is associated with my bar is going to end up in the street.
Wow.
That is 100%.
Wow.
Ever.
Awesome.
Okay? That's never going to happen at a Stogies employee. So, listen, the bar business also brings in some, others might say, oh my God, well, I love these people. They're a little whack. They do some stupid things. You're like, you sit there and go, what did you do? Oh my God. She's your ex-girlfriend and you did what? Oh God. You paid what? Oh my God. It's like, but okay, buddy, you got to pay rent. So we're going to help you pay rent. Because, you can't, it's the life. These people are nocturnal, right? Then there's others who made small businesses on the side that are going to come back. But the big thing is, and I'm so happy, a lot of them have found careers. They're students, right? They finished school and they got careers.
Yeah.
And it's good for them. I'm very happy for them. It's a good job market, especially with a good education. But on my side, I'm losing some of my best staff.
Yeah.
You lose that, the essence. So we have enough to make sure that the essence of Stogies is there. Made me tear that every one of my staff, even when they got new jobs, said, we're there for you for the opening. We're there for you and we'll help. They all are taking it personally to make sure Stogies gets off on the right foot and they're not talking financially, they're talking staff. Because listen, guys, the vodka I sell, let me give you a little secret. The Grey Goose I sell is the same Grey Goose at every other bar. Wait, even more. Pretty much everything I sell is the same as the other bar. So what am I selling? I'm selling the service.
Yeah.
I'm selling the atmosphere. I'm selling the feeling you get. That's why it's called the service industry, not the alcohol industry.
The ambiance.
The ambiance. So that is 25 years of getting the system in place where every staff that gets hired falls right into that stream of what we expect that service to be. So when Luigi comes, he knows that ashtray is going to be changed at a certain time. The girl's going to be dressed a certain way, not bad, a certain way, where his total experience there, and then this bald bearded owner is going to come by, shake his hand and ask him how his day went, and remember that he loves the Bruins and hates the refs, and ask him about it. So that whole system has been put in place for 25 years, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest worry in our business now is losing that, because that's when you lose. Grey Goose is not going to change. Same Grey Goose as everybody else.
And I could definitely, as a patron of cigar of Stogies for a few years now, I could definitely agree with that. And everything you've said is completely true. From the barmaid to the bartender to the guy that takes your coat to the vestiaire, everyone is always respectful and always there to help.
Professional.
And it's all professional, and it's always a great time. It really is. And this is why I felt it was, and I was so glad when the guys, Claudio and Ange, asked me to have you on, because
the bearded bald guy.
Well, you don't matter anymore. But no, it's true. It's true. Your partners as well. Your two partners. Yep. Guys, it's not just Steve. Steve does have two partners.
And they do most of the work. I do a lot of the PR. I walk around going, well, I was the original owner, so I get to do this now. I get to shake hands, but the scheduling, my partners are in French they say, je fais mon part, il fait le plus part. They do most of the work. I'm like pulled back a lot of the daily tasks. I'm the granddaddy. I'm the original owner. They worked for me originally. I bought out my old partners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go to business with your friends. Not always great idea.
No.
And that's where a lot of business fail, was fighting between partners.
Yeah.
We were able to fight. I came out, I bought the place, and I took my cousin who was working for me and one of my busboys, and they became my partners.
Wow.
Isn't that a great story?
I saw them work.
It is.
I never saw my best friends work, and they sucked at it. We didn't get along,
Yeah,
so,
it happens.
It happens, right? So my partner was my first busboy at Stogies.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I always use that as a promotional gig. You work here as a busboy. Don't forget that he worked here. Now he's part owner, and everybody's like, "You only part of Stogies and you started a busboy? You kidding me?"
I can just imagine.
There's movement in this position.
I can just imagine one day if you're going to be doing a Stogies commercial, you walk around, and go, "See this guy? This guy was a busboy," and you see the guy. He turns around, and is like. Meanwhile, everything's going out of control, and then he goes,
and then he has tattoos, and he's always like, he's the luckiest.
Or even better, it's like you point him, but he's always trying to break up fights, but somehow he always manages to get in them. He's like, you see, you could be like him. Oh fuck, I can't stop. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah. I was a busboy. But actually, the funniest part of a busboy.
Yeah.
So I remember losing a busboy because he decided that I was lying to him about the fact that I have no formal education. So Stogies we have a pretty big bar. People don't realize 2 floors, big patio, it's a big bar. And then we have London Pub, which is a very popular, different type of bar, students hanging out, and president of Crescent, and I run Grand Prix, right? So this busboy, who was very excited to work at Stogies, goes, "Hey, what business school did you go to?" I go, "Business school." He goes, "School of Hard Knocks,"
Yeah.
And the guys go, "No, but seriously, what school did you go to?" I go, "Dude, I barely finished high school. What are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Just because I'm a busboy, you don't have to patronize me. I don't want to work at a place where the boss treats me like shit just because he thinks I'm too stupid to understand a business school." I'm like, "Dude, I really didn't go to business school." Like he would not accept the fact that I did, because he was in business school, and he wanted in his head to say, "Please don't tell me I'm wasting my time at business school."
Exactly.
That this guy who looks like my idol about what business he's running and how he's running it, they didn't go to the school that I'm wasting all this money and time on. And I would have told him, "Look, don't wait. It's good. You're not wasting your time. Just because I did it the hard way doesn't mean you can't do it yourself." No, this guy just decided that's it. I don't want to work for a guy who has a high school degree and runs this. It was the funniest. He just walked out. I was like,
well, a lot of kids. I mean, they need that
validation.
The validation that their education is for a purpose, for sure. Steve, just to change a little bit of subject here, because cigars are synonymous with golf, right? And and the guys wanted to talk to you about and because I told them that your son is heavily invited, and I hope you don't mind that we talk a little bit more about your personal life.
I'm embarrassed about talking about it, and be honest with you, I won't talk about it because my wife won't let me.
Okay.
I can talk about golf in general.
Okay.
I can talk that junior golf is great. As a father of a junior golfer, fantastic. I tell everybody, get your kids into golf. What other sport? Okay, listen. What do you want? You want a sport where he's going to be missing his front teeth? No.
True.
You want a sport where he has to put on blades to get on an ice rink? No. You want a sport where it's played in perfect weather, some other guy's carrying your equipment, You can dress like a pimp and be popular, and all you gotta do is hit this little ball in tropical countries, and you become richer than most of these people missing their teeth in a hockey rink. It's a great sport, right?
It is.
But why I won't talk about it is for the malocchio. What do you guys call it? The
malocchio.
Yeah. You guys say it's so well, malocchio.
Malocchio.
What? Oh, the Italians, they're all talking normal. Then when an Italian word comes out, it's like, hey, would you like some? You heard that joke. Hey, would you like some mozzarella? Like, dude, talking normal 2 seconds ago. Like, hey, yeah, the malocchio. Okay, so the malocchio is to tell. Well, I mean, all your listeners know. If I talk about what you want me to talk about, people are gonna give bad luck.
All right, so that's fair enough. But he's doing well. That's all that counts.
Doing well as a junior golfer, and he has a lot of hard work to do still. Mm-hmm. And if I had a show to talk about him, I could talk 3 hours about him. That's how proud of that I am. But my wife would kill me.
Yeah, and we don't want that. We don't want that because already she has to put up with you being home so much.
It's gonna shove me into a box much smaller than I am. You know what I mean? It's gonna be parts missing.
One last thing we wanted to run by you. The guys brought it up. Is how do you see with our good friend the Plant going up against Cordair? What is that? What could that potentially mean? sorry, Steve.
Why do you put me through this? Okay, so your listeners, we didn't talk about this. I'm president of the Festival du Grand Prix du Canada.
Yeah.
Which is a private festival, meaning it's not a government-owned festival, but there is no festival of its size that doesn't need the government to happen. Meaning not financially, but permits and commissions and whatnot, right?
Yes.
So, if you have me on the day after the election and a certain person loses, I will open my heart on a lot of things that current government is doing. But I have to work with them. Now, if you ask me my opinion, Cordair is doing right if he wants to win by admitting to his the problems he had before.
Mistakes,
He's still the same person, guys. He's not, I'm less of a, arrogant person. How can you not be arrogant? You're running for mayor. I mean, it's like the dumbest thing in the world. You're arrogant. That's why you're running to be the head of a city. I'm a down, country folksy kind of guy. No, dude, you're trying to run a metropolis. It's in the description of what you're applying for, right? I mean, soft-spoken bar owner. Yeah, it never happened. No, it's not going to happen, right? So, but he's playing the game. I mean, I'll say this: Cordair is a businessman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cordair was good to business, not in a bad way. Not like he did something nefarious to be good for business, but he understood that if, for example, you need 2-3 days for a festival and you need to make some exceptions to bike paths, it's okay. Unlike which I love, I don't know if you guys noticed, if you ever come to the Grand Prix, there's a bike path right in the middle.
Yeah,
I think it's an amazing thing to see, 100,000 people avoiding the bikers who are going right through.
I have a funny story about that, actually.
I do. You know what I was thinking? I was just sitting at Stogies having a cigar, and we were sitting right next to the street view. Okay, so Steve comes up to me, he goes, "Lou, watch this. Go look outside." He goes, "My fucking poor clients can't even park because the snow was not removed because this was winter, but yet the bike path was clean."
Oh yeah, I always record.
Oh my god!
I always record them. But if you ever see the bike path in the winter, 3 feet of ice on the sidewalk, snow on but the bike path, you can eat off it. It's like, what the hell? People, old ladies are on the floor falling. One biker a day. Hey, je représente Vélo Québec. It's like, oh my god, dude, you guys are powerful, man.
Oh man, no, I remember. I remember because it was the summer of the Grand Prix, right? And you were mentioning about that bike path that's happened. So my friend and I finished work because we work at the cinema. And we're like, let's go check out Crescent. The amount of tabarnak that I heard. My friend,
That should be the name of that bike path.
Exactly. You know what? Please make that happen. So what happens? I'm walking with my friend, and I'm standing next to my friend, and I hear a loud "Otabalnak!" I turn around and I see a guy with a bike on the sidewalk going through. And my friend almost just pushes him off, and then the guy goes, "Why are you pushing me off?" My friend's like, "Why are you riding on the sidewalk?" And the guy goes, "Well, because it's the street's full." My friend's like, "You've got a bike path for your bike." My friend just took the bike and just launched it on the fucking bike path, and he goes, "Go."
Listen, we're all bikers. There's no such thing as a non-biker. Everybody's gotten their ass on a bike once in a while and pedaled. The militant biker, I call them the militant. These guys, hey man, I'm a veteran. I was ex-soldier. I'd rather meet ISIS in a cave than a biker in Montreal.
Okay? You know what?
These guys believe they own everything. Forget it. This is my road. I have the right of way. There's a 3-ton car coming at them, and they're like, nope. This is my bike path. There's no way I'm moving out of the bike path. And, some asshole's not paying attention. He's like, you're going to go up chicken with a car just to prove a point? Are you serious?
Yep.
That's a biker in Montreal. I'm telling you. Wow.
Hey guys, we're a veteran that is more scared than a biker in Montreal than a freaking
ISIS guy, for sure. Hey, dude, I'd rather cut a guy's head off, get on the Grand Prix stage and go, I cut this guy's head off, then go on Grand Prix stage and say, we're closing the bike path. What? Bring back that head. That's okay. But not the bike path. Don't touch the bike path.
But that was my first wake-up call when I was sitting there having a cigar and a drink, and I look, and you told me to look at him. Like, are you serious? It was the first time I'd seen that.
They're taking the snow from the bike path and putting it in the parking spot. They're literally.
That's a priority. What do you expect?
And I'm like, where are my customers gonna park? I tell them they could take the bike. Yeah. I mean, put on a nice suit,
of course.
The beard, the hair, get on a bike at -40.
Yeah, bro. Listen, from Pointe aux Trembles, it'll take me about 3 hours to get to your place, bro. With my cigar.
It's a new way of doing things. But this is the hypocrisy. One guy actually brought it up. Who was it? Was it Thomas Mulcair? I couldn't believe he brought it up. Which is this: what is the number one solution this mayor is using to bring business downtown? Who knows the answer to that?
Ange, go ahead.
I don't know. What was the question again?
What is the number one tool that this mayor is using to try to get business back downtown?
Free parking.
Free parking. Wait a minute. Didn't you go 3 years telling us that parking is not why parking doesn't have a difference at all about business downtown?
You go.
We don't need parking downtown. People will take the bus. You trust us. If we get rid of cars, we're going to make it car free. It's going to be better for business. Okay, everything's happening. What do we do? Free parking, come down. What happened there? Free parking is the number one thing you use. The only thing is that we have nothing else. All we can do is offer free parking, but everything's closed. Offering free parking. Free parking.
Sorry,
what?
I have to cut you off. Skyflame 28. It's like a broomstick. Nice, Peter.
You gotta admit, it's pretty ironic that free parking is the thing she's using to bring customers downtown, when for 3 years she told us parking has nothing to do with business downtown.
Incredible. I see the irony in it for sure. Yeah, and you were saying, sorry.
Crazy irony.
Steve, what
the only thing she's done. Hey, we got free parking. It's like the old restaurants that used to say we have air conditioning.
Oh man, that'll be good.
Who knows signs?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I hope so. You go into a car dealership. We got tires on our cars.
Joey LaFlamme is laughing his head off.
Like really? Free parking. It's like, oh, what do we got? Free parking. Oh, how about open stores and restaurants? No, but we got free parking.
So Steve,
you can come window shop at restaurants. this place looked really nice once upon a time.
When it was
Look at
open.
this bar.
When it was open.
These are the beers they have when they open.
The history behind all this is synthetic. It's historic, man.
Andrew,
but I'll tell you this: when things get back to normal, one thing I can tell your people, okay, is don't fall for the box stores. That's one of my pet peeves. The make-believe Walt Disney type, Quartier Distrant, Carrefour Laval, or whatever. these are made up. These are made up streets. Have you ever gone there? It's like, we're on a city street. Oh, there's music playing. This is Walt Disney. This is Main Street, USA, Walt Disney. It's fake. Like fake frontages. Come downtown, man. You're never going to see a drunk ask you for money and stick you up with a banana at Quartier Distrant.
Never.
No! Only downtown. Yeah. What's going out without getting drunk, getting a 5-scoop ice cream from Ben & Jerry's that you realize you took a mortgage out for the day after, and be harassed by 32 bums and 5 drug dealers.
Man.
Come on.
I love it.
The buildings are real. They're not being held up by fake packages. They're real. When the brick falls, it hurts you. It's not fake.
Oh my God.
The memories. The memories. I'm there. Oh, the memories. Andrew, we're going to say something.
So, Steve, considering, I don't know, I'm not Lego, I'm not the god, but considering, let's say the bars open next year at this rate, you know what I mean? If they open, let's say, I don't know, next spring, who knows?
If they don't open this summer, none of them are opening.
No?
If the bars, all joking aside, have to open between May 1st and June 1st.
And if they don't, there's going to be a lot that are going to be like...
Then they're going to open without government. They don't care. You're going to push them to open and say...
Yeah.
They have no choice, for sure.
What are you going to do? Find me? I'm going to close anyways.
You have no choice. Exactly.
Okay, so let's say
it has to happen.
Yeah, let's say it opens by May, June. Like, what do you see happening downtown? Like, how do you see it changing? Do you see like businesses selling and then they're gonna build condos? How do you see the future of downtown?
It's a great question.
It's a fantastic question. One thing that we did, I think human beings are creatures of habit. Mm-hmm. I strongly believe that. I think we're gonna go. I think for at least a couple of years that governments will actually be sensitive to us a bit. So whoever is going to be the mayor is going to be sensitive to the needs for Crescent until this is all forgotten, and then they'll say, "Well, what are your needs?" Nothing. They'll actually. I believe they'll finally pay some attention to us. Okay, because look, I've had many politicians tell me, "You know why we don't pay attention to you guys? You don't vote." I'd rather pay attention to one condo building that has 300 votes than Crescent Street, right? So that's the mentality. Because it's all about numbers, right? So few people vote in municipal elections that if they could get literally one condo building to all vote for them, they win the election.
True.
At least as a councillor, right? So I think though that dynamic that will change and say, okay, well, there's not going to be worth owning a condo downtown if there's no Stogies, right? So the whole atmosphere has to be there. So I think in the beginning it'll be good in that way. I think there'll be new blood, new money in the condos. I don't know too many of them, but I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping that the people who bought these condos as investments maybe sold them to people who live there. And, because that's what we need. The promise of these condos was that our customers are down the street and they weren't there. They were empty. I mean, a lot of them were bought and emptied, So what do I see? I mean, I could see it doing 100, I could see a bit of a roaring 20s thing going on.
Yeah.
Now we just want to, and I think that governments will pay attention to the ones that survive, to make, especially downtown Montreal, which was hit very, very hard. Yeah. I think that's where it's going to go,
And also the clubbing scene. Do you see the clubbing scene still being in style? Like,
oh boy.
Don't forget, the club scene has been dying.
How come?
What's the ages here? How old are you, Ange?
I'm 29.
Okay, you, Claudio?
31.
Luigi?
46.
We haven't been. He's the only one who understands me. When we were young, we had nightclubs.
Yeah.
And whatever, it's a generational thing. We don't have those nightclubs that me and Luigi went to anymore. There's a few, they're niche market, right? So now there's more supper clubs, and it's a good thing because they're more diverse in their. They can't be nightclubs anymore. They have to be more diverse and be able to make money more times during the week.
Exactly.
So the club scene was changing before the pandemic. This really changes it even more. So most won't open, and those that will have to change their format.
Rebrand.
Rebrand it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The nightclub that me and Luigi knew, just after the lit dance floor Saturday Night Fever dance, me and Luigi are right after that. Metropolis, September's, Ozone, these club type places. They disappeared a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, at least there's maybe 3 left and nostalgic. But the typical club is gone.
Could it be the laws that caused that? The not smoking inside, the cops being everywhere. I don't know.
I just think young people are not like me and Luigi were. Me and Luigi got our driver's license. We got in the car. We headed downtown. We don't know why.
Yep.
We just headed downtown. Now kids will hang out in Laval more. They'll go. They just like, and I mean, I won't lie. I might have had one too many drinks and drove. Back then, didn't. It's bad to say, and I would. My God, please don't ever do that. It's crazy, but it was a different time, right?
Yeah.
So now, and thank God, it's a good thing. You don't do that, right?
No, absolutely.
But it's more than just that. It's just less money. People have less money or more money in different ways. It just changes. I think that's a normal way of that. But the nightclubs have changed, and I don't think it has anything to do with. I think just times change. I think
it's a generational change. I agree.
Oh yeah, no, Ange. All to answer your question, back then, if we're in Steve and Luigi's era, like we'd be going to a club and we're puffing smoke in our face, like, hey man,
cocaine in the face.
No, but guys, now today, what it is like, oh my God, like you hurt my feelings because you don't like this Cardi B wet ass pussy song. You see, actually, no, I actually encountered that.
Dude, you said wet ass pussy.
Guys.
But correct me if I'm wrong, though, Steve and Luigi. Back in the days when you guys went club, wasn't it like the rock? It was the rock versus the disco, right?
Very much so. So I was rock, and I was the black sheep of the family because everybody wanted disco.
Okay.
I secretly listened to disco. I wouldn't admit it. It's like Bee Gees. No, me, I'm AC/DC. And then when nobody's watching. Night fever. Like I actually enjoy Bee Gees. Yeah, I enjoy the Bee Gees now more than I did back then. It was rock versus DJ. Everybody was a DJ then. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was a DJ.
And I did both.
Just like now, everybody's a podcaster. Before, everybody was a DJ.
Right. Oh my God.
There you go.
It's exactly right. Everybody bought 2 turntables. These are things that we used to put these vinyl discs on. And a needle used to go in. And
what's that?
Then one day we decided we're bored. Let's scratch it.
I actually checked the history of hip hop on Netflix. It was really interesting about breakdancing, how it started and everything.
I mean, hip hop, fuck.
Oh my God! I wish I could take back all the images of white kids breakdancing.
Oh my God, Steve. Actually, you know what? When I was
breakdancing with mullets.
Oh my God. No, I actually. When I was younger and I heard the word hip hop, I actually thought hip hop meant breaking someone's hip. So like a friend of mine comes up, hey bro, check out my hip hop. I'm like, bro, your hip looks like it's breaking. Why are you doing this? And then someone
hip hop will be listened to by people breaking hips only.
But you're right, man. Like white people and mullets.
Breakdancing was so.
Yo, I remember back in high school, because I was fatter than what I did when I was not. My friends and I, we decided to be awesome. So we decided to do this breakdancing, but we were off beat. So we're just like dancing like this, but my shirt was small. All you see is me going, yeah.
The problem in mine and Luigi's generation was there was this band called these two Jewish kids and an Armenian kid called Beastie Boys, and we thought we could all be Beastie Boys.
Oh dear God!
You know? Everybody thought, Eminem got into the rap scene. Eminem's old. Like, what are you talking about? Beastie Boys were killing it. Two Jewish kids. I think it was two Jewish kids, two Armenian kids. Were like, yo! It's like, and every white kid's like, yo! It's like, oh my God, dude.
Oh man, no.
They're the Beastie Boys. You're not. Everybody started breakdancing.
A question for you, Steve. So at Stogies, were there like anyone trying to breakdance, or were you like, let me see if this happens?
My favorite is the cougar dance. You know what that is?
Oh no!
Oh, when 40, 50-year-old Ontario white women start dancing, and they drank so much CC and ginger.
Oh no!
Oh, they get up. Yeah! Oh my God! In the house. Like,
oh my God! I
hope there's not too many white women listening. When I mean white women, Sharon.
Yeah.
And it's CC and ginger. It's like, oh my God. Hi, I don't drink. I only drink a little bit. And then they start they're on the table, like, and they do the dance.
Oh my God, no, it's hilarious. Actually, those things are, especially because at comedy clubs, because after that it turns into like because I did this comedy show and it turned into like a party after, right? And there were those Sharons. There were nice people, and they go, I only drink. I swear to God, I'm just talking with a friend of mine. And all of a sudden we hear, woo! I'm like, what the fuck?
Right there.
One of them has her purse and she's waiting in. I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah, and when they get their eye on you, like they start looking hungry, you run.
Yeah,
run.
No, I faced one.
Oh my God, I'm out of here.
I faced one, man. She looks at me, she's like, you. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, is this how her, but she has a wait, obviously nothing bad was happening. So she grabs me and she goes, yeah. I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
My favorite is that one of my staff is a comedian. My bartender is a comedian, Joy Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro, yes, I know.
Oh, for real?
So Josh is my bartender.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
So I get to have at the end of the night, my bartender finishes, and I get to hear his jokes. Actually, he's been trying to get me to use one of my floors to open my comedy club, and I was like, okay. Yeah. Josh is one of the greatest guys on the planet. He is fantastic as a human being. He is nuts. So he's a Jewish Italian kid, and it's like, like when you see him talk, you're like, you're Jewish Italian. You're exactly Jewish Italian. Like,
I saw him live. He's awesome.
Boy, the meatballs, bro. It's like, what?
Yeah,
it's crazy. And Josh is one of my favorite people on the planet, and he's my bartender.
He's a good guy. He's nice. He's been nothing but nice to myself. Sky Flame and Peter and Joy. He's nice.
Start a business, and he's a dirty little fuck too. So he comes up with some things, and you're like, okay, buddy, I love you. What are you doing? Getting naked always. Like,
I can't wait. Dude. I can't wait to all get together at Stogies and hear all these and see all the Karens and the Sharons and share these stories and
and then the gold diggers. Eh?
Oh, those are the best. Italian comedies. Those are the best.
Dude.
But Steve, do people go there? Like, is it like a meat bar? Like people go there to meet each other? It's not a meat bar.
No, it's not. It's
not.
Look, it's a cigar lounge. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's mostly men, mostly.
Okay.
But if you have women that have sorry, I should say that. Gold diggers go. Where should I go? A meat bar where guys are trying to pick up women, or a place where there's only men and can afford the scotch and cigars.
Exactly.
So all of a sudden, the cougars are taking in cohibas like it's and they know a man sees a woman smoking a cigar and it's like, hey, how are you? It's like, oh, you like cohiba too? Me too. Can you buy me one? Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Oh, buddy.
So you see a lot of that.
But you're right.
Money, man, it buys everything.
But think about it. If you're a gold digger, why would you go to a meat pickup bar?
It's usually people that have been at home for the longest time.
You're going to compete against the women that are giving it for free, right? I mean, here I'm a gold digger, and I'm going to have some little Karen come up. Hey, I just love it. Let's go party, and wake up, and she's gone. And the gold digger's like, damn it, you stupid! You gave it away for free. Stogies.
But Steve, it's funny. Thursdays, which was like notoriously a meat bar, that closed down, And now one of the old gems in St. Leonard, Select, also closed down.
Oh my God!
They're building condos there.
Guys, again, I'm going to say this. A lot of people were like saying the demise of Crescent is shown by the fact that Thursdays closed down.
Oh, yeah?
Thursdays should have closed down 10 years ago.
Why, Steve? I don't get it.
Because it's from another era.
Yeah.
As much as look, every journalist that was 65 years old that was going crazy that Thursdays closed hasn't been on Crescent for the last 40 years.
Okay.
It's not what kids want anymore.
No.
Their clientele was so old, it was a geriatric bar. You know,
that's true. That's true.
Trying to hold on to that era. With Stogies, at least, we've changed through with the times. And I'm not stupid where I'm going to have a bar just for me. You know, and I'll get people, why are you playing this music? It's like, because you're out once a month. That guy's here every day.
Yeah.
So, I try to keep a balance so everybody can enjoy it, but you're never going to do that. So Thursdays was like, hey, listen, we're never getting rid of that mirror ball. And I'm like, you should get rid of the mirror ball.
That mirror ball.
Yeah, but our customer, your customer's 90. He's going to die. And no one new is going to know about your place. But no, we're still going to stick to the 70s formula, you know? And it's like, look, it's not...
But it's true what you're saying, Steve. You got to get the young kids involved. I notice on Instagram, it's like the in things are like the young Instagram lives. You know what I mean? So you got to get those kids.
100%.
Should have reinvented themselves.
You hire people that know the job. Like it's like me. I don't take care of my Instagram account. What am I, an idiot? I'm 50. I better know how to use the damn thing. It's like, hey, what's this? Real? I don't know. You know. An hour later, I'm like, what the hell? No, I hire a guy who knows what he's doing. He's young, he's hip, he's cool, and you know, that's the image I want for the bar. Now, a guy who's 60, who's been coming to Stogies since he was 35, I don't like the change. True that we try to make the changes in a way that are small, incremental, and we're like the Apple iPhone. Never too much change, but some change every time. Bring everybody along. So now I got the 65-year-old. He's okay with the changes. And the young guy's like, hey, this is pretty cool. So you need that. When you stay and say, here's my target market, 65, and I'm gonna, or 35, and I'm going to follow this guy till I die. Well, guess what? You'll die when he dies. And Thursdays, that's what happened. I mean, the 70s are over, dude.
Yeah.
They were over. You know, you survived the 80s, the 90s, but hey, man, at some point, that formula can only go so far.
Got to evolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Steve, let me be the first to say thank you so much for doing this tonight. It was a blast. I wish that we all get good news for you, especially, and we could get together.
Why don't we do a live show at Stogies?
Well, I would love that.
We would love that. Yes. I want to do that.
We'll set up a thing instead of 4 mics. It'll be actually 4 of us sitting there in a booth.
4 men and a cigar. There you go.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody's so used to these little compartmentalized screens. You know, I'm there, you're there, you're there. Imagine one day they look and say, "That one screen, are they?
Yeah.
Are they together?"
No, that's going to be epic.
A generation will go, "We could do this together. Let's go out."
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
We talked about it. I was going to actually ask you about it because the guys that asked me too, and I said yes. There's a few places that we like to do some live shows. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I brought it up. I didn't mean to impose myself on you. I'm just like, hey,
of course,
like WKRP on-site. Remember, the on-site podcast.
Absolutely, we're going to be all set up. We're going to do it. Trust me.
Sorry, Claudio, Ange. WKRP was a show about radio.
Yeah, I know.
Just so you know.
I know. We get. I mean, I know Branch, but I get the old-fashioned old clock senior radios. I get that.
Okay. What's AM?
What's AM? What is this AM? FM? I'm like, my dad. My dad passed away 2 years ago. But when I was younger, he would listen to a lot of AM, FM, CJD, all these.
I got kicked off of CJD Facebook.
You got kicked off.
I got kicked off. I'm no longer allowed to comment on CJD.
Why?
Don't
get me started on CJD.
Oh,
well, because it's like, should we close? And then every Karen from West Island, we should never ever open. We are all gonna die. And I'm like,
oh, that's beautiful.
So I'm answering back, and I know you're gonna be shocked. I'm being sarcastic. Everybody here is going, no. So eventually they got sick of me, and they banned me. So I'm gonna come up with a new name, and
that's it.
Start go back, but I'm gonna come up with a Facebook page that's gonna say, when you go to it, you can say, "This is who I really am. Come to my page."
Oh my God, that would be so epic. That would be so epic. But Steve,
I'm not hiding who I am.
No, you should not. You should not hide. But honestly, Steve, when everything opens up, like we would love to come to Stogies. You're an awesome guy, and I love that place. And
thank you guys. Thank you. Ange, have you been there?
I've never been.
Don't worry, we're gonna convert him, Steve. We're gonna convert him. Virgin.
He's a
I got
virgin.
a couple of waitresses you need to meet.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Wait
Ange,
that doesn't sound too good.
hold on, wait. Ange has a girlfriend. I'm the single one, so I'm just
True, Steve.
Dude. Tell your girlfriend it's this. Stogies is the strip club without the strippers.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely.
Because my day used to go to strip clubs just to have a drink.
Yeah.
The girls were just a background noise. It's just the same thing, except no strippers. It's all guys, no strippers.
Doesn't matter. Trust me. It's all about the relaxation, the cigars. I bring the cigars. We're good.
It's a man bonding experience.
Absolutely.
I'll admit that. And you know what the best part about Stogies is? You take away the need to try to impress a woman. I mean, when you go to socialize in a bar, you're trying to impress, and you're like, is she looking at me? And that's good. I love that. Yeah. When you come to Stogies, you sit with your buddy, you talk about the time you try to pick up a girl that told you no. There you go. It's the guys getting together.
They come to you. You're
exactly.
The pressure to impress women is gone at Stogies. You could be yourself with your buddy and say the war stories of the weekends past.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it.
So that was it. Steve, thanks for being here. You're an amazing guy, and we're gonna come to you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for commenting. Thanks for being here. If you didn't subscribe to our page, please go ahead and do so, and follow Steve because this guy's hilarious. Come on, man.
When Stogies opens, guys, go to Stogies.
Yes.
There we go.
Guys, thank you very, very much.
No problem. Any last word?
We don't take Amex, by the way.
Duly noted. So any last words here? Because we're gonna end it right here.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you so much, Steve.
I just want to say thank you, Steve, so much.
Luigi, guys, nice to meet you both.
We had a blast.
Sorry, Claudio, I never met you before at my bar. I know Ange. I look forward to seeing you. And Luigi, buddy, those reps back.
On that note, good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Good night, everybody. See you next time. Bye bye.